Hey, this is Josh Ingalls with Lifetime Xteriors. Thanks so much for joining us. We're talking about the second reason you should not hire Lifetime Xteriors for a full roof replacement, and that's if you're getting a leak around your chimney. See, most of the time when someone calls us out to look at a leak that's somewhere around the chimney, the leak is not being caused by the roof, but the leak is being caused by the chimney itself. See, sometimes the chimney can actually start pulling away from the house, and a crack may happen between the house and the chimney, and this is a place for water to get inside the home. See, most chimneys are built on a separate foundation from the house, and over time, that foundation can begin to become compromised. And so sometimes a foundation specialist is going to have to come in and underpin the foundation so that it's not pulling away from the house anymore. And if the problem is really bad, a structural engineer may even need to be consulted for that issue. The most common source of leaks we see on the chimney is through the bricks and mortar. And this is where you're going to want to have a mason tuck point your chimney and replace all the bricks that are bad. Another super common source of leaks for your chimney or B-vent is the B-vent cap or chimney cap. These are made out of metal, and over time they can rust and allow water to get inside your home. A lot of times you might see water coming down onto your furnace or water heater, or water dripping into your fireplace. The cap may be one of the areas you need to check, and you're going to want to work with either an HVAC specialist or a chimney specialist to see if you need a new cap. And if you do replace it, you probably want to consider stainless steel. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, but that way that cap isn't going to rust. If you have a brick chimney, you'll want to evaluate the chimney crown. Here in the Chicagoland area, concrete chimney crowns are very common, and a lot of times they can crack, and over time parts of them start to break off. If you have siding on your chimney versus brick, the water might be getting in somewhere through the siding. You're definitely going to want to have your chimney specialist check the chimney chase cover. I see a lot of times here in the Chicagoland area where that chimney chase cover has rusted in certain areas and water's getting through those rusted areas. And a lot of times these chimney chase covers are also done with aluminum. You can see how easy it is to bend aluminum. The problem is the aluminum bends and then it gets low spots on the chimney chase cover, and water eventually finds its way inside the home. That's why you're going to want to check with your chimney specialist to see if you can do a stainless steel chimney chase cover. It's going to be a much better product, and it's not going to rust out, and it's not going to bend like the aluminum is. Another common problem that we see is where the flue piping inside your attic rusts out at some point, and in those rusted areas, the exhaust gases from the flue are getting into your attic and create a tremendous amount of condensation, and it actually ends up looking like a leak, but all that water is from the condensation. If that happens, you're going to want to have an HVAC specialist replace that flue piping, because not only are you getting all of that moisture, but you're also getting carbon monoxide into your attic or home, which can be very dangerous. One leak on your chimney that is roof related is the chimney flashing. Now, this is one of your most vulnerable areas on your chimney. So when you hire a roofing company to replace that chimney flashing for you, you're going to want to see their process. We use 4 layers of protection when we flash a chimney. The first thing we do is we run up ice and water shield up the side of the chimney. Then we install metal step flashing. Then we grind into the chimney to install our custom bent counter flashing. And then we use a tri-polymer sealant to make sure that chimney is protected. One other chimney leak that is roof related is when there's a chimney that's 30 inches or wider, and the water is just collecting there towards the center of the chimney as the water runs down the roof. What needs to happen in those situations is a chimney cricket or chimney saddle gets installed. And that's essentially a roof on your roof that gets built up on the roof against the chimney to divert water around the sides of the chimney. The good news is, to do a cricket or saddle, you're not going to have to replace the whole roof, but you are going to want to redo the chimney flashing when you do that. Thank you so much for tuning in to the second reason you should not hire Lifetime Exteriors for a full roof replacement. Make sure you tune into the next video for reason number 3. I'll see you there.